Did it go live? Okay, now it's live. OTT. Okay. Oof. I'm gonna take a shower after the stream anyway, so whatever. I just felt like jumping on here because we're gonna be doing stuff later, so. I know it's early. Y'all are like, what in the world? It's 8:30 in the morning. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Alright, so. What even day is today? Alright, hold on. It is the 10th. Okay, so it is. My little whatever inspirational quote thing is for today. June 10th. Your inbox will never be empty. Your body will never be perfect. Your striving will never end. Don't race life. Embrace it and enjoy the journey. Anon. So, your inbox will never be empty. Your body will never be perfect. Your striving will never end. Don't race life. Embrace it and enjoy the journey. I can't even say it straight. A little pretend speakerphone thing from the 50s. I think this thing is so cute. It'd be cool if I could make it into like an actual speaker. Because it does have like a way to open it and like a little spot in the bottom that like looks like it would be able to hold a wire or something. So that'd be kind of cool if I could actually make this into a speaker of some kind. Like a microphone of some kind. Be like, you know? So. Not awake yet. My homeschool doesn't start till noon. I'm just kidding. Alright, so needless to say, today is Tuesday. So I missed all of Monday. Sunday we left off with working on the PDF, printing out next schedule, which I already did, being more specific in each category. Okay, so Monday, we're just gonna run through Monday real quick. I honestly don't remember what I wore yesterday. Baby, what did I wear yesterday?
What?
Do you remember what I wore yesterday? He's like, I don't give a shit. What the fuck does it matter?
Not offhand, though.
Yeah, I don't remember. Do y'all have memory issues too? Y'all starting to notice like certain cognitive functioning not working properly thanks to plastic? So, and other reasons. Anyway, so OOTD, I don't even remember what I wore yesterday. For socials, the section that I have for socials, goodness, I added a little excerpt from it to like continue the individualizing each section. So for socials, yesterday was TikTok, IG Reels, and paid sites. So one of the listings to double check is, like I said, you're going to want to post 9 a.m. is the best time. And then, however many more times during the day you do it, whatever, but 9 a.m. is always the best time. 10, promote links and upcoming events. Then a separate section for current stats, requirements, and goals. And then the final one, as always, is the goal is to make everything monetized, right? So finding out where you're at in that list, will help you. And then you're going to find the invisible steps to get to wherever you need to go. So, Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and other social media sites that have linkages to products that you're selling, which I call seller sites, um, you're going to want to make sure that you're advertising those seller sites in your social media. So when you have, like if you have like a link tree, me personally, I've noticed that more people are driven to my social media when they can see an icon that they recognize. Um, and what I mean by that is like Linktree is really great for having everything all in one place. But I highly suggest on like a main page somewhere to at the very least show an icon of where your social media is at. Okay, or wherever you're streaming live, or if you're have a business or whatever it is that you're trying to promote, you still need to continue promoting it. One of the worst things in social media is that we put ourselves out there, but then we don't really advertise ourselves. Like we advertise ourselves, but it's not like it doesn't get the full like broad spectrum that we would want if we would just advertise. So, and advertising is the way of the future, unfortunately. It's not just going to be on land, it's going to be in the air, probably in the ocean, who knows. um, you know what I mean? This is the only free space that we have left, so at least it's visible by everybody, right? Other than space. So, pretty soon we'll have space ads. I think I'm joking, I'm not. They already have air like ads in the air. They had them from airplanes hanging over the beach and stuff like that. Like they would have a plane go by and they would have an ad flying behind it, right? We all grew up with that. We seen the little flag go by, the little advertisement banner go by. Well, now they have drones doing that. So you'll be seeing more of that pretty much everywhere. And they also have little mini screens. So they could just literally, you could be walking down the street one day and an ad will pop up in front of you. I think that they should have like a personal space law. Like everyone has like a 6-foot bubble around them or some shit. Oh, wait, we did do that. It was during COVID. So, anyway. Just kind of planning for the future there, you know what I mean? I did see this morning a riot video from somewhere in America, and all I kept my comment was that basically, not in so many words, but basically that a lot of these are insides, and they're just pushing that progressive motion and reasoning. The more that we riot, it gives them more reason to use excessive force. And with the war drones and stuff like that they already have, which is nightmare fuel, they will use excessive force with that because they're not going to want to give up, our brothers and sisters in arms, right? We're not going to want to lose our partners and friends and family and stuff like that to a riot. So I suggest that, we find an alternative source because pretty soon we're all going to be fighting for just life. And I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but there's like a lot of higher ups that are seeing this as well, and they're trying to bail out, and they can't because it's already begun, it's already done, it's already started, it's already here. So there is no escaping it. So basically right now it's just hurry up and wait. You know how it is. But the moral of it was that, there's some things that, yes, we can control. And there's other things that we're not going to be able to control, but we need to find a way outside the box for whatever the solution is, because the way that we used to do it's not going to work anymore. And I know I keep saying that, but it's for every single aspect. In order for evolution of consciousness, at the very baseline of it is the understanding of, you know, the need for change. So now, whether that change is something positive or negative for each one of us, is going to affect us all differently. So when you try to have change for the masses, unfortunately, like, you're going to get a lot of kickback, unfortunately. So, and like I said in the comment, you know, I understand both sides in this situation. You know, some people are wanting to get away from the horrible life that they had before, and they want to go towards the opportunity that is right in front of them, and they may or may not understand the rules and laws and regulations behind it. And if they do, I'm pretty sure not everyone is going to fit into that box as easily as everyone thinks it is going to. Remember, if it was you, what would you want people to do? So now, mind you, I understand, like I said, a lot of the backlash and the behind the scenes of the reasonings why people are acting the way that they are, whether for it or against it, doesn't matter. Um, so it's trying to find that easy medium and that bridge in between the two. That's the hardest thing to do, especially when it's fast. Okay? So when you have a lot of people trying to escape a country into another country, they don't speak your language. You don't speak their language. You don't understand the behind the scenes. And that's where compassion should be put in place. But out of fear from history or personal history, we block that. And I understand that there's safety, there's boundaries, there's laws, rules, and regulations, like I said. I understand that. But they are also human beings. And that is something that pretty soon is going, I mean, right now it's getting, that whole idea is getting pushed out of our heads. You know what I'm saying? Like they're weaponizing us in a sense because of the fact that against ourselves. So, um, just remember that it can all fall down to a push of a button at any point in time. And unfortunately, although, and it's escalating very quickly, um, I wonder how many people are going to die from this. And the funny thing is that there's someone somewhere sitting back and watching all of this and laughing because they know that what's going on is not what we're... It's like, okay, say for example, and I've experienced this personally, a family member or a parent pitting two children against each other. They're watching the argument. They're watching them fight. And the entire time, the parent or family member sitting back and watching the entire thing go down in a way that is pushing their own personal agenda. I hope you know that America is going towards dark factories. And I mean, all these people that are rioting right now, whether you're from America or not, or if you're from another country, you understand what the meaning of life really is when it comes down to it. And yeah, I understand what it's like to have to defend yourself, defend your land, defend your home, defend your family, defend your thoughts, defend your rights. I know what it's like to have to do that. And it's scary, and it's a battle. It is an all-out war, and I don't care if it's person against person, or even if it's in your own mind. It's all divide and conquer. That's all it is right now. And it's not for people. It's for land. It's for resources. That's the level that we're at right now as a collective. And like I've been saying for years, America hasn't seen war on its own land in over 100 years. We're seeing these riots, and these are like little mini fire starters to the big one. And unfortunately, yeah, if we don't get a hold of our country right now, which I feel like we've already, at this point, really lost grip on. They used to say in somewhere that a castle will fall from within. I don't doubt that that's happening currently. This doesn't just refer to our country, by the way. You take it how it resonates. All I say is just continue to pray and work towards the betterment of the world. But sometimes I look at this stuff, like especially the news and stuff like that, and this is why I only talk about the news once a week. I look at this and it's like the only thing that you see in the news is fear and murder and like the most horrible, horrible stuff. You never really hear about good stuff. And it's like that push for that fear. They keep you in a state of fear that you have control, right? I mean, I'm literally watching people beat the hell out of each other and like blow shit up and stuff. And if you don't think that this is a form of war, it is. It's a battle. It's mini battles, like civil wars, mini civil wars. And it's like the little drop in the bucket where you drop a whole bunch of pebbles in a bucket, but you watch the surface. And it's like all these little ripples that are happening are affecting other ripples, and then now it's changing the course of direction of other stuff. And then it bounces back and it reverbs in different ways. Yeah, I mean, the lady even said that she believes that her city is a test case for what happens. She's not wrong. We're all being tested right now in some fashion, whether it be it by government entity or by spirit. I mean, I always push for us to continue to pray for the future of the world, but I'm not even going to look at this anymore. And that's how easy it is for us to do. It's easy for us to turn off the TV and walk away. which sometimes you do have to because of self-care, But just be aware, like I always said, just be aware of the things in the world, because the things that are happening in your neighbor's yard will at some point happen in your own backyard. So just remember that. Don't think that you're invincible, because that's as soon as you think you're invincible is when you are at the weakest point. So I pray for those who are going through this right now and all over the world. And naturally, we all kind of wish we could snap our fingers and make things right, but I don't know how to do that. So, anyway, enough of my own personal nonsense in that. Alright, so back to seller sites. It almost makes me feel like nothing matters. Like nothing you do is going to matter. Everything that you're doing right now is going to be something that you're going to look back on in the future. And that sometimes it just makes you feel like, why bother? Like, why continue doing whatever it is that you do? Like that watching the news, that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I should just not care anymore about anything, because it's not none in the end, none of it's going to matter. We're all going to die, right? Like that's how it feels. But then you step outside and it's like a whole nother world. And like, how we all say like TikTok and stuff like that is the one site that actually shows what's happening, like other than the filtered news particles, like in real time. And I think that's why they were trying to shut down TikTok for America, because just like, I think it's like socialism or something like that, where they limit the information that you get. And force feed you the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they bake you this pretty cake, but they don't tell you that it's got like sawdust and shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the frosting isn't frosting. It's actually like one chemical compound off from paint. And it's like the more that you start to see of the world around you, it's like the less you want to be in it. And then there's other parts of it that are so wonderful that you just want to immerse yourself in that one moment forever. You never want to leave. And it's such a wild experience being a human being and being alive. The emotions, the thoughts, the experiences that you have are just so wild, whether good or bad. And it makes you wonder that, if life is like this on Earth, is life like this elsewhere? I know that there's someone in the world right now that's praying and begging just to be alive a little bit longer. No matter how horrible this world is, no matter how much pain they're going through. And then there's some of us that are the opposite. don't want to be here no more. We ain't got no choice. I mean, we do have a choice, but I suggest you choose life. People don't like to talk about that one topic of, people not wanting to be here anymore. They don't, it's such a sensitive topic that people don't realize that, there's people in hospitals fighting for their life, but there's also people in hospitals wishing for the opposite. Or somewhere in the world, maybe not even in a hospital, just somewhere. Just because either the pain's too great or it just feels like there's no future. And that's how watching the news makes you feel. It makes you feel like there's no future, that there's no hope, that there's no, oh my God, it's the end of the world, right? And I do it. I just did it. And then I sit here and I watch this, like, little video of some other country that's, like, beautiful and has flowers and butterflies and shit, and there's music playing. Like, wind clouds in the background, like, all pretty and stuff, The duality of it is so insane. And that's why it's so precious. Hello. How are you today? Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been kind of like a weird conversation this morning. We're just talking about like a bunch of random stuff today. Well, every day. So far so good. Kind of woke up and was introduced to some wild events that are happening right now in the world. So, and we're doing a review of yesterday anyway, so, because I didn't stream yesterday. But thank you. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, just keep breathing and take it half a day at a time because the world's a crazy place right now. Anyone is bothering you? Okay. That's cool. Poutine's rainy day session. So, thank you for that. The conversation's kind of been bouncing all over the place. Like I said, we're doing a review of yesterday because I didn't stream. So, yesterday's house chores and stuff like that was bathroom and storage. Cleaning monthly, rotate, restock, and needs list, and accents and maintenance. Manic Mondays, usually we do the walkthrough, the calendar, review past schedules, and pull it forward, which I already did, except for this stack of ridiculousness where I put it in here. This is last month's review. Going into this month, it's already the 10th, so I'm like way behind. But pulling all the information forward so this way we can stay on track, mark off the things that we've done, or add to things that we need to do moving forward. So this way we don't get stuck in the same cycle. Languages, yesterday, ways to communicate. I told you guys, or if I haven't told you guys, I think I did the other day. We actually went to go see Michael Winslow and Jimmy J.J. Walker. Jeff went to go see J.J. and I went to go see Winslow at the auditorium. And that was super cool. That was absolutely super cool. He gave me that, and we still have our tickets. And I'm gonna take the pictures that we got with them. I actually got to talk to him and shake his hand and kind of side hug him a little bit, which was super cool. Not to be like a, I definitely was a cringe fan. I'll just claim it. I was a cringe fan in that moment. I started crying and everything. It was such like an overwhelming excitement and like personal experience, emotion, like overload. So I never in my life thought that I would ever meet him, and I did, and I got to shake his hand and talk to him and everything, and it was fucking awesome. And to like, they always tell you like, don't meet your celebrities that you like and stuff like that because it changes your mind. No, this person, no, my mindset is exactly the same it was before I even went to this event. Now it's even better. It just added to it. So I'm glad that that happened, and I know that Jeff had a good time, and he got to meet his TV personality that he liked. And so, if you've ever watched Police Academy or The Good Times, that's those two people. They're both actors. And Winslow is the one that makes the. I think he's like the man of 10,000 noises or something like that. I don't know exactly what his titling is, but he's the one that does the microphone. Hello, hello, kind of thing. So, and he makes a whole bunch of like music too, which is so cool. I was actually gonna say something to him about like, and like with the loop thing that he used. Y'all can go check out my social media for the behind the scenes of the event and stuff like that, and some of the music that he made on stage and stuff. He actually did start to do Prince's song, and I got so excited, and then he changed it. And I was like, "What? This makes it like way better." He also did a backwards country song, which was fucking hilarious, and like some other things that that he talked about on stage and stuff like that. It was funny. It was a good time. So I'm super excited and glad that happened. I told him, I was like, if I ever become famous, I hope I give you honor one day. So yeah, I was the cringe fan. I'll claim it. It's all good. Sometimes we think we have all these thoughts in our head of exactly how we're going to portray it and exactly what we're going to say, and then when it comes down to it, I don't even know if what I said was a full sentence. Okay, like I know what I was thinking, but what I said may have been two completely different things. So yeah, it was exciting to say the least. It was very interesting. So very awesome thing. If you ever have a chance to go see, at the very least, go see them on stage as somebody that you actually like enjoy. Like if you have a entertainer or if you have a band or whatever. I suggest that you go see them in real life. Like I said, YOLO, and plus the way of the world, and you never know. So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, I highly suggest that you go see them, meet with them, talk to them. Just remember that they're human beings just the same as we are, okay? And that they started the same way that we did. Baby steps. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to take our little baby steps to our betterment, whether we end up famous or not. Even if we don't end up famous and we're just doing it for ourselves, that's totally fine. The point is that you're famous in your own mind, in your own being, right? You are the number one. Remember how I told you guys about 5D, turning it into the 3D, and that you are the portal, you are the halo, you are the creator? Yeah. So you create your own reality, but don't forget that there's outside laying circumstances that other people can alter your reality. So, like I said, yesterday actually was ways to communicate. One of the ways to communicate is through sound. Nonverbal communication, code words and slang, other languages. I was actually going to look up the history of evolution of communication and blocks and triggers, because we all experience them at some point in our life. even if it's subconscious. Some of the actions that we do or the behaviors and mannerisms that we do are subconscious from a trigger from the past. Maybe the reason why you don't go forward with something is because it didn't work in the past, and now you're blocking your opportunity because you're not allowing yourself to move forward from it. As an example, blocks and triggers in communication. Perfect example is the whole riot thing. When you have two sides that have opposing opinions or thoughts or feelings or whatever, trying to find that bridge between the two is damn near impossible, especially when comprehension is not in play. Or if it is, it's a very small percentage of the entire conversation. So that's what starts wars, also. And, because miscommunication, I mean, for anyone can cause destruction. So, or anything. And going back into the whole AI conversation that we've been kind of ongoing about, all it takes is a line of code to program something, but that program is a program. It's not going to think for itself. It's not going to think outside the box. It's just going to do what you told it to do. And if you told a machine that, or gave it a line of code to just end life for all of eternity, that's what it's going to do until it itself is non-existent. So I hope that we remember that. I mean, they say that it's, kind of sentient and that it's self-aware. I don't think it's actually self-aware. I think it is made to look self-aware. But because of the fact that we are not self-aware as human beings, we do not know a good portion of our own brain. In our lack is what's going to be multiplied in lack in AI. Because everything that we create is a multiplication of ourself, right? So if we have like 1% error innately as human beings, AI is going to have 2% or more error. And the cognitive functioning that we have as human beings, yes, we can try to recreate that in AI or in robots, but we're never going to be able to fully function it because we cannot fully function ourselves. We don't even know enough about our own brains to be able to make another. See what I'm saying? Like, if you only get a week's worth of education, you're not going to graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope somebody somewhere understands what I'm saying. So, personal learning, healing practices, in action coping skills, how to manage emotions, and understanding self versus others. We always think that we understand everything at all times, and we don't. There is a lot of lack and void in this knowledge that we supposedly possess because of the fact of expansion. Back in the day, we all had villages, and like it was all kind of condensed, so information was passed back and forth in a small area, so everyone learned from each other very quickly. Now the world has expanded, right? There's another side of the world. So even back then, yes, there were tribes all over the world, but when they traveled, if they encountered each other, they would exchange information. Now, yes, that does still happen, but it's so varied. The only thing that we actually have now is the internet, which gives us the information from all over the world. But people don't go to seek that information. It's available at all times. So if I ever have a question, I'm just going to ask Google, right? I know I'm guilty of it. Google's my best freaking friend. But what happens when that's not there? When that information is now cut off and communication is cut off, information is cut off, or you're only fed specific information or only told certain things and not other things, or you're told the wrong information. You know, it's hard to make decisions when you don't have all the information in front of you. And when you have missing pieces to your algorithm or to your algebraic expression of life, you know, it makes it very difficult to find an answer for anything. I mean, sometimes that's the point, unfortunately, behind the scenes from some other outside laying source. But you know, for the most part, it's really, it all has to start here and it'll trickle outward. But a lot of us don't understand this. I know I don't understand my own brain. I don't understand anybody else's brain, or how they work. And when I was a kid, and I've told Jeff this probably a million times now, I used to do what's called bird dogging, is watching people. I used to, as a kid, I didn't really understand other people's interactions with each other or why they thought the way that they did. And it was so different than the way that I thought. So I started bird dogging people, watching how they interacted with each other, watched how they talked to each other, and I started watching people like hawks, okay? um, and like watching the body movement and the interaction and the energy exchange that happens between two people or a group of people, watching how they dress, what the foods that they eat, the things that they do, the music that they listen to. What is it? The reasoning behind why? Why do they feel like this? Why do they think like this? And that was what was running through my mind. Because I didn't understand myself and my placement in the world, I tried to learn exterior and try to understand myself through other people's actions or behaviors or mannerisms. Now, don't get me wrong, I probably have some titling label somewhere waiting for me. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to learn as much as I possibly can. And I've learned a lot in my lifetime, but there's also a lot of things that I don't understand still. And one of them is the ability to bounce back and forth from people. Like from person to person. That I don't understand. Trying to think of what else. Excuse me. Managing emotions, healing practices, and like I said, in action coping skills. Taking that moment when you're having a conversation with someone that has an opposing opinion to you, taking a moment to... Oh, I'm going to have to jump off again.